Bob Fryer here in the AAPEX studio. I want to thank our sponsors, Repairify and Great Water 360 Auto Care. We're joined right now by Matt Buckholtz. He is the CEO of Motorad.
Motorad, that's right.
Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
There's all kinds of ways of saying this, surround yourself with the best people, lead by example, lead with integrity. But what you're really trying to do is, in really any industry this can hold for, is create that culture, that environment that you're striving for, and that's create a great workforce with a happy environment, but by leading with integrity.
That's right. I mean, everybody knows, and it's a cliche saying that culture trumps strategy, and in order to have a great culture, you have to have integrity. So when we go to hire people, it starts with who we hire. Who do you surround yourself with? Who do you put on your team? And so we hire people that match from a character standpoint. They have the right chemistry. They're competent, and they match our culture. And if we look for all of those things, then we can bring people in. So that's bringing the right people in, but also your leaders. Leaders have to lead by example. And so to have a culture of integrity, you have to lead with integrity and lead by example.
And then it creates not only a happy workforce, but a productive workforce.
Very productive. Yeah. And also when people aren't looking. So what do people do when others are not looking?
The measure of a man, but measure of a person is really what you do when no one's watching.
That's it. That's right. So having healthy habits, instilling healthy habits, and nurturing healthy habits. So if you see somebody who is unhealthy, caring people. So I believe, and Motorad believes that people matter. So if you're for others versus being for yourself, that's also leading by integrity.
Yeah.
People want to work for somebody that cares about them, and so I think it starts with that. And that's, to me, that's integrity. And so that's how we try to lead at Motorad.
It's difficult, though, to identify people that perhaps have the same work ethic, character, integrity that it is that you're looking for, because in the hiring process, obviously, everyone's putting their best foot forward. But what do you suppose are some of the things that you're looking out for?
So we try to be very methodical and slow, kind of slow to hire, so very thorough. Okay. We've been told that we have an incredibly thorough process. Because we never want to make a mistake in that case. So we do reference checks, of course, we do the fundamentals, but asking people, like, what do you do in your free time? What do you do on the weekends? How do you spend? And kind of digging into what people, when people choose to do, when they have free time to do something, what are they choosing to do in that time? A lot of times that'll signal to what they're going to do when they're in their downtime at work. And you can kind of dig in and find that.
Very few people are going to say, I like to go down to the local pub and stay there for about 4 or 5 hours.
You'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised?
You would be surprised what some people disclose.
Right. There's a saying, a process versus outcome. In many ways, it's like it's not the destination, it's the journey.
That's right.
Is that another way of saying it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, so first we talked about culture. And so if you have the right culture, then it's also processes and then looking at the outcomes. So I think there's all these tools today where you can look at outcomes. So as leaders, we have to be outcome focused. But when you're looking at the outcomes and you're not getting a desired outcome, then you have to come back to the process. So it's it's kind of a triangle, right? So you have the right people, the right culture, look at your outcomes, and always refine your processes to make sure that you're getting the desired outcome.
And there's nothing more draining to a workforce than not knowing where it is we're headed. Everybody's rowing like crazy, but we don't know where it is that we're going.
Yeah, you have to be clear as a leader, right? So that's 100%. So the leaders not only define kind of culture, but also set the mission. And everybody wants to work for a compelling mission. That's when you when you have somebody working towards a compelling mission, then they're energized if they're on board with that mission. Right. So one thing we talk about, so an outcome would be like, this is very, we use the analogy that if somebody's going to summit Everest, right? Nobody's ever done it without a Sherpa.
Yeah, you got to have a base camp.
You have to take steps. So we even tell people, you're at base camp today, we're going to help you to get to Everest. But nobody's summited Everest without a Sherpa.
Without a Sherpa, yeah.
So we try to be Sherpas to our distributors, we try to be Sherpas to each other and to our customers, and as a leader, I try to be a Sherpa to our team.
Do you have primary, secondary, tertiary goals along the way, and do you have measurables so people know whether or not they are getting or doing what they're supposed to be doing?
We do, yeah. So you have your milestones, so we do an OKR process. But we have our long-term plan, we have annual plans, and then we have a quarterly plans, and then you have weekly measurement systems
to
all of that. So, and then you have to celebrate along the way. So when you hit base camp, have a celebration, and then go to the next level.
Yeah.
So keep working towards your mission.
Yeah, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
That's
Man,
a lot
good
of
to
steps.
talk to you, my friend.
Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Much appreciated, much
All right,
appreciated.
thank you.
Lots to do here at AAPEX 23. When you're out taking those photos, upload them to your favorite social media site, but make sure you use that hashtag AAPEX 23. I'm Bob Fryer of the AAPEX studio.